All right, let's march on. Let's march on. This team is pretty bad. So we are still primarily worried about the draft. Home Run Derby at Minute Maid. Crash, I did not, but that's cool as shit. Justin Brown's there, of course. I hate it. I hate it. I was actually okay with Spectrum to switch away from them 2 months ago for fiber. Fair. Today's the day to sign draft picks. Is it really? Or are you lying about that again? Because you lied about it last time. No, okay, it's not lying this time. All right, so Tim Coe signs. Cody Carlson. I think I kept calling you Cody Carlson. Corey Carlson declines. What a dick. Why the long face? Charles Kaufman also declines. Boys, what the hell? What the hell? Ever check if we got anyone in Home Run Derby? We have not. To this stage, we have not had anybody in the Home Run Derby. We have not. Shout out to Baseball is Life. How's it going? Well, we're in 2034 and we haven't made the playoffs yet. Does that answer your question? All right. Eloy Hidalgo is at least one, if not our only, All-Star nominee this year. Good for him. 32 years old. Good for Hidalgo. We also get Harper Rivera, Diego Espinoza. Oh, baby. 3 players already. Shout out to Jude Dewitt. Did we end up with anybody else? Again, the fact that the Phillies traded this guy to the Mets is fucking hilarious. He's insane. It looks like we have only pitching representation. Again, Greg Marlin on the Marlins. It's just beautiful. So we only have the pitching representation at the All-Star game. Oops. All right. Delgadio declines. Boys, quit holding out for more money. Selfish. Fickle. Fickle and selfish. Unbelievable. Corey Carlson signs. Welcome. Charles Kaufman declines again. Why? Why do you do the things that you do? The nerve, the gall. Where do you get off? All right. All right, Mr. Delgadio, let's try this again. You son of a bitch. There we go. Charles Kaufman signed at least. You know, I'm going to tempt fate here by saying it's been a long time since we've had someone reject re-signing or reject signing with us in the first place. So, this could be an interesting year for that reason. Only one time has that happened. Charles de Gaulle. The airport? Delgadio, what are you doing? Why? Why do you do the things that you do? My lord. My lord. He does want the bag as a 5th round pick. Got some of these other guys in 30%. This is going to be rough. Delgadio. You can't be serious. I am being ransomed at this point. I wouldn't want to sign with the Pirates either. How dare you? How dare you? All right, our 1st round pick, Grant Riley, signs immediately. Thank God. Thank God. Well, Darrell Williamson is not looking like the guy we should have taken with that 3rd round pick, so that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Mr. Delgadio finally signs. 2 guys left to sign for one of the weirdest drafts. So we have won 7 games in a row. Boys, why? Yeah, Darrell Williamson's going to be trash. All right. Deadline to sign picks. Might we lose someone? Obviously, Sixto gets top priority. And Henry Sixto does sign. Daryl will give you what we can. Oh, we signed. Look at that. All right, well, we got everybody. We did get everybody, which is good. Even if Daryl sucks, we did end up with him. So the question is always, how good of a draft was it? Did we make the right choice in staying with this pitcher? Yes, we did. Grant Riley, we could have easily panicked and said, no, not that guy. But I said, yes, that guy. And he is that guy. Grant Riley, our new ace. Unfortunately for me, his favorite player growing up was Garrett Cole, so we won't have him here for too long. Hello, Grant Riley. You are beautiful. I'm a little bit worried about his individual attributes. He doesn't have elite velocity. He doesn't have an elite break, but hey, we'll take it. And then behind him is Corey Carlson. Now, the downside to Corey is that he's already 23 years old. The upside, his overall isn't stupidly low, and he does have an A potential. The white boys have a Ryan. So honestly, between Riley and Carlson, last year we ended up with like Slinger, Santana Lopez, Trujillo, Dyer. I mean, we have starting pitching prospects in the system now. Tim Coe, he is okay. I don't know if he's better than another outfielder, but 21B and a 61 is not bad. He is fucking rapid. Absolutely rapid. So Tim Coe, at the very least, should have a spot. He has good power against lefties, too. Daryl Williamson is mid, but thank God he's at least a C potential. He could very well make the majors in the future, so that's good. Charles Kaufman, ooh. 21B is not bad, but 48 overall is low. Low. So, not ideal. Chris Delgadio, 2150, but an A potential for the switch-hitting outfielder. We have a lot of long shots on this team, but players that could still make it. Henry Sixto is another one of those. Low overall at 19, but how many A potentials did we just get? Jesus. Sweet Jesus. How many A potentials did we just get? That is pretty ridiculous, huh? That's one hell of a draft. That is one hell of a draft. We benefited pretty well from the restart. The Cardinals still did as well. Same thing as last year. This is who the Cardinals got first overall, Dan Armstrong. Same thing as last time. I'm only going to look at people if they're B potential or higher. Yes, there are some C potentials that might have good starting overalls, but yeah, let's focus on the stars. And unfortunately, oh my God. I'd rather have the starter than Santiago Batista. Batista is who I hoped Del Villar was last year. He is what I hoped Del Villar was, in that he's got a good overall at a young age, but he actually has a C potential. That's why we took Del Villar last year, because if we got this guy 13th overall last year, we're feeling pretty good. But, yeah. Let's see. Rockies took Garrett Ryan 2nd overall. He's okay, but yeah, the Rockies really got shafted by that redraft. They really did. Well, that might be the worst first-round pick I have ever seen. GG's to the LA Dodgers. I would say that you drafted someone who bags groceries, but I'm fairly confident in some of the people that I have seen bagging groceries, including me as a 16-year-old. That was one of my first jobs. Actually, it was my first job. More confident in my ability to make the majors than this guy's. They did get Salazar, who also has a dreadfully low overall. But, hey, I bagged. Hey, there's nothing wrong with bagging groceries. Do what you gotta do. Henry Wells. Would end up taking the original. We'll see him a little bit later on. Henry Wells, I mean, he's okay. Their best option, potential-wise, is Brian Cora. Bit of a low overall heat, though, with 99 velocity. Lester Jernigan, solid. 59 at 19. Clifford Mitra, not bad. So 2 decent picks for San Francisco. Baltimore, no B potential players. Good thing we did not take Willard McCullough. Baston. Oof. Oof. Oh, Boston. Oh, Boston. Yankees took Johnny Welch, who's okay. Our guy's better. They also got Howie James late. All text, hello. I gotta move those alerts back, huh? Gotta move those alerts back. There we go. All text, what's up? Suns win. Do they though? I'm hoping they do well. I am. I'm still very much focused on the NHL playoffs over the NBA, though, of course. Tampa. I mean, again, David Mays is very good for a C potential. But Dominguez, the reliever, was their highest potential player. Blue Jays got that catcher, David Savoni. Got to be honest, I'm happier with the ace pitcher that we got over Savoni, who's not bad, but I wasn't going to take him 5th overall. They also got Chris Gill and Leroy Connor and Gary Phelps. Well, I did not win this draft. I did very, very well, but I don't think I won it. I think the Blue Jays did. Cervoni's fantastic. Gill is very solid. He's got a ways to go, but he's solid. They got Leroy Connor, someone we were looking at, who was also good. So was the guy that we also ended up with. Oh, and then they got Gary Phelps. Shout out to Meat Room Mitch. What a name. What a name. My favorite butcher, Mitch. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Gary Phelps, hell of a late pick. Our scouts certainly did not recognize him as that good. White Sox. Arnold Gary, who's okay. Not a great draft for them. Cleveland took Jim Barton, another starter we were looking at. Good starting overall, but only a B potential. They also got the reliever Miguel Mercado. And they took David Chen. We should have gone with David. We picked the other guy over Chen. Had we gone with Chen, it would have been a slam dunk draft, but the guy we took wasn't bad, but he was only a C potential. So that's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Detroit, Antonio Villanueva. Holy shit. I mean, he's about as good. I mean, he and our guy are interchangeable, but this guy does have elite velocity, or maybe not elite, but close to it. They also got Miguel Collado, the catcher, who is okay. Low overall for a 21-year-old, though. Kansas City. More like Kansas. Not very goods. Minnesota. They're the ones that ended up with Rich Cairo. This guy went 1st overall to the Cardinals the first time we did this draft. And Minnesota were the ones to fall for it this time. Houston. Oh, boy. I'm still happy with the ace pitcher that we got. We could have switched that pick to Elmer Perez and not been upset. I still don't think we really screwed up to have gotten the ace pitcher. Would have been nice to get this guy too, even though he doesn't have much of an arm on him. Doesn't have much of an arm on him. Those attributes are a bit weird. They're a bit weird. Cardinals were the one to pull the internet, right? Angels, that first baseman, John Weber, he is okay in terms of overall age potential. Attributes are a bit wonky. It's also DeMarcus Van Dyke. Very good reliever. Fireballer. Athletics took Eric Gomes. I mean, hey, you got to have a third. I mean, you got to have a third baseman named Eric if you're the Athletics. That's just how it works. They also ended up with Greg Means, but his overall is trash. Seattle took Bravo. Also not bad. Our pitcher was better. Texas took Alonso Ruiz. Very solid. Very, very solid. Atlanta. Emphasis on the L in Atlanta. Oof. Marlins took that other catcher, Owen Valley. He's fine. And they got center fielder Curtis McCallum, who's also fine. Not bad. Mets took Takahashi. I don't regret not taking Takahashi. Look at the mustache on Mackenzie Johnson. What a great pick for the Mets. The overall is a bit low at 21, but there were a couple late steals in this draft. Phillies took the other catcher, Andreas Morales. He's fine. They got Hank Maloney. Okay, so Hank Maloney, 22.59. He's pretty much interchangeable with Coe. So I don't hate it. Hank Maloney wouldn't have been bad. Coe might honestly be better. And they got Joe Mobley well at the end of the draft, but 44 overall is a bit rough. But he is 18. Washington with Espinoza, solid first rounder. He was their best player by far. Then there's the Cubs. They got Josh Donaldson's son. We're far enough into this that could actually be real. Cincinnati, the defending world champions. Okay, he's 23 and only a 46 for I like this hat Hager, but yeah, interesting draft there for Cincy. Milwaukee took Antoine Rush. He's fine. They also got Clarence Delahanty, who is pretty good for a mid to late round pick. Pretty good. Cubs proven why you should never take a straight up reliever in round one. All in all, we might have actually had the best draft. I mean, Jesus, 4 A potential players, 2 Bs, and 1 C is pretty damn good. It technically could have been even better as well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Coe. Williamson's solid, but it could have been Chen. We had ourselves a pretty damn good draft, and that is exactly what we needed, given the consistent roster turnover that we're now suffering from is proving to be a thing. But we are 500 on August 1st. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? I mean, what are the injuries that we're dealing with right now? Just Emilio Mora in Double-A. This might still be the year. It might be. I'm going to leave the rosters the same, and we're just going to see how it plays out. Like WWE booking, just see how it plays out. I'm sure it'll work out just fine. Spoiler alert, it never does. Still hanging around 500. What are we going to be on September 1st? 4 games over. Oh my God. 4 games over. Reds went from World Series to worst in the division.
Oh, we're doing this again?
Shout out to Mad Static for the 10 months. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jabroni King. I've been good. Tremendous name still. We are 2 games up on Milwaukee for the division lead. Will 2034... How stupid is this? Will 2034... be the first year that we make the playoffs? Okay, really quickly. Let's take a look. We might do some call-ups and send-downs because we have the September call-ups anyway. Nunez hasn't quite been cutting it, so I do want to add David Sung. Try him as the main catcher there. We'll send down Nunez. I mean, Sung's at least a good defensive catcher, at least half decent. Fishman's still in doubles, starting over Grove, who's hurt. 1 to 2 months with a broken hand. AAA's fine with Lopez because we want Fishman to be the starter. That's all good. Nothing to change. Imagine, if we didn't lose certain players. All right, so Juan Guerrero has actually struggled this year badly. He only has 155 at-bats, and he's actually regressed by a point. He's only played in 43 games, has just 4 home runs. He has had an abysmal season. after getting qualified last year. So, Mester's on 22 home runs. Ramirez doing well in AAA, but not dominating. You got Burnett, you got Wells, nothing to change there. Andy Holland has regressed, and he's down to a C potential. DJ Hamlin 2.0 as Andy Holland regresses. If I'm not mistaken, that's the player that we picked. And again, keep in mind that there were 14 other teams or 13 other teams to pass on this guy. I'm pretty sure that was the year that we didn't take Justin Brown to get our second baseman that we needed in Andy Holland because our scouts didn't tell us Justin Brown was that good. Oh, Andy. It's still going to be Andy and Obama. It's all well and good. Nothing really to change there either. Third base, Gutierrez, 22 home runs. He's been awesome. Chad Dean, still a more than serviceable second choice. All of that's good. Shortstop, Freitas. He did do well playing in AAA for one more season. Do we name him as a September call-up is the question. It would make room for Israel Gutierrez to be the AAA starter for the rest of the year. I think Freitas is probably our position player call-up. Let's double-check the outfield. Or it's Del Villar, who has not improved at all. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Alberto, welcome. You're going to be our position player call-up. We'll get what we can out of you, just like we did with Rene Gutierrez, until it's very clear that it's just not going to happen for you. As frustrating as that is. All right. We do need a pitcher call-up. To be honest, we'll probably go with Stevie Varela because we already know he's on the 40-man. Quick and easy. Single A, Julius Slinger. We definitely need to be on a roster. Let's go AAA for you. Trevor Wells, we're also going to want on a roster. Is Jennings ours? He is not. Or is Romero? Sexton, none of these guys are. Let's just call up dudes to AA. Why not? Are we about to make the playoffs? That is the question. And we just took 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee. We're now 3 games up on them and the Cubs. I have to be honest, this could be disastrous with us making the playoffs. Because we're not really good enough to make the playoffs yet. At least you would think. Oh, man. Honestly, this is just a fucking shit show. Oh, boy. This roster is a shit show at the moment. Sorry, we are a little bit distracted at the moment to try and optimize this if we can. Let's just leave it. Let's leave it from there. At least the staff is good. Lineup, well, lineup-wise. It's playing Juan Guerrero at second. Which simply cannot happen. He's not a good enough fielder to do that. He's playing Rivas and left. He has 2 home runs, 24 RBIs. Let's get Del Villar in there. Flores at short's fine. Get Courtney out. We will go with DJ Hamlin in against lefties. Yeah, no, we cannot have that particular setup. We're going to get Del Villar in there. See what this guy can do. But again, him being a D potential is tragic for us. 3 games against Washington. We win 2 out of 3. We are 4 games up on the Cubs and Brewers, and would technically be right in the heat of the wild card battle because the NL sucks this year. 3 games against the Cubs. They win the series 2-3. Now up by just 3. If we're going to mess around and potentially make it, we might as well, because not making it's just as damaging now. It's an issue with the curve roster. We get swept by the Blue Jays. We're 2.5 up on Chicago. Mets win the series. We're only a game up on the Cubs. 4 games against Cincinnati. We swept them. 2.5 up on Chicago. We've yet to clinch a playoff spot. What a weird spot we're in right now. Del VR is not exactly lighting the world on fire. We're going to get Rivas back in left. Hammond only batting 204. Let's get Courtney back in against center. So yeah, Del VR did not make the most of his opportunity. 3 games against the Dodgers. As our AAA ball club fails to make the playoffs, as does our AA ball club. We got swept by the Dodgers. It's 3 games against Cincy and 3 games against the Cubs. We have a game at hand on the Cubs. We're a half game up. 79 wins. Puts us right in the heat of the wild card. How the hell are we fighting for the division title with 6 games to go? Game 1 against Cincy. It's a loss. The Cubs are up. Game 2, it's a loss. Game 3, it's a loss. It comes down to the final series of the season, in which one of us, because the Marlins are so far up there, whoever claims the division makes the playoffs. Whoever fails is out entirely. These 3 games might as well be a playoff series in Chicago. So let's treat it like one. Let's treat it like a playoff game, because it's the closest we've ever gotten. Actually, no, not in Chicago. It's at home. I thought it was in Chicago. It's at home. I think we got to go Delgado Jr., Montanez, DaCosta, and run our 3 best pitchers. Carlos Delgado Jr. is on. Oh boy, do we have some tired players as well. Darren McCauley cannot play this series. We have to have David Sung, at least in this first game. Andy Holland is also pretty tired. We're going to give Scott Obama a spot. Courtney's been the better option at the plate. 233 average for Ott in the outfield. David Sanchez has regressed hard. We're going to get Ruben Ott in there. I'm kind of surprised at how much certain players have struggled this year. Honestly, Obama and Courtney at the top of the lineup. Guerrero has really struggled at the plate this year. What the hell are we going to do with him now that his contract's up? I have no idea, but here we go. It is game 1, technically game number 160. As we take on the Cubs, the winner of this series, they have a 1-game advantage, but the winner of this series, that's unfortunate, is going to the playoffs. Quentin Sands, that's a name we haven't seen in a while, but from the OG draft, 2-run shot, puts the Cubs up. Offensively, nothing doing for us. Oh, 2 singles this inning. We get out of it. Their starter's already tired, but man, we are struggle bussing at the plate. Scott Obama singles. Gets caught stealing again. Come on, Scotty. Can Courtney get the steal? Yes. Flores can't bring him in, nor can Messer. Solo shot for their 9-hitter Wagner. 3-0. And that's going to do it for Delgado. Let's bring on the all-star Eloy Hidalgo. He gets out of it. Leadoff double for Gutierrez. Rivas can't bring him in. Ott can't bring him in. Guerrero can't bring him in. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Their starter's still in with no stamina. Let's pinch run Sung. It's going to be Hamlin. Yeah. DJ, crucial moment, gets caught. Solo shot for Scott Obama. Could have been a 2-run shot. All right, substitution. Gonna get Hamlin out of there. Let's bring in McCauley for the rest of the game. 2-out single. All right, we get out of that. Bottom of the 7th. Leadoff single for Messer. 2 on. Rivas. Sack bunt. Ott. Guerrero. Oh, we strand base runners like nobody's business. Down in order. Hidalgo, you've been phenomenal up to this point. Bottom of the 9th. We're not going to watch it. We'll save that for the playoffs. We learned that in the Red Sox series. Fly out, strike out. Cubs win 3-1. We have to win the last 2 games to force a 1-game playoff, game 163. If the Cubs win 1 more game, they go to the postseason, and we do not. We lay an egg at home. Chris Montanez takes the mound. Are there no more 163s? What the hell is the tie-breaking scenario then for us? Is it direct head-to-head? Oh, we're fucked then. We're probably fucked. That might be it. Well, at the very least, all we can do is win. That's all we got. Honestly, let's just play the lineup as it is and say, screw it, let's see what happens. We need a win. Just to have a shot, we got to win these last 2 games. The amount of base runners we've stranded might set a Guinness World Record. It's genuinely astonishing. 1-0 Chicago. So we strand more base runners. Solo shot for Luciano. It's 2-0. Going up against fucking New Jack as their starting pitcher. I cannot believe they flirted with the idea of making the playoffs just to blow it in the final 2 weeks. Astonishing. Experience Pittsburgh baseball. Oh my God. We bring on Rivera, hit by pitch, walk, and a single. Thank you, Harper. Thank you. Bring on Espinoza. Espinoza, you're my fucking hero. Espinoza's the only reason we still have a shot. And nobody can get a fucking hit. insane how many base runners we've stranded, how few hits we've gotten. Holland pops up, Flores grounds out. The Chicago Cubs are going to the playoffs. We absolutely choked in the final 3 series. 7, 8 losses in a row to fall short at 79 and 83. An insane choke, losing 9 games in a row to end the season.